Right about now, we will move into our discussion segment. And of course, we see Inebedum, a legal practitioner. Thanks for staying tuned with us.
Thank you.
Okay, now let's move to topics. For today, we'll be discussing on two main topics. One, which is labor and new minimum wage. Much ado about a fresh shutdown. Just as that yesterday, the Nigerian Labour Congress, they say they will embark on a new nationwide strike mobilization of Nigerian workers to protest the federal government's delay in implementing the new national minimum wage of 30,000. Okay, now what do you have to say as regards? Okay, let me ask first on the increase of the 30,000 naira minimum wage. What do you think about it?
I should think the 30,000 naira minimum wage should be rather a living wage
Yeah.
because of the value of the naira. If the purchasing power of the naira is very low, even if you pay 50,000, it wouldn't translate to a living wage. That is very basic. I should think that much as labor and Nigerian workers are agitating for a rise in pay, what Nigerians should be rather agitating for is economic development, infrastructural development. Because, for example, if the power infrastructure is steady and trustworthy, you can say in 24 hours to run your business, you can be sure of steady power for at least 16 hours without running your generator. By the time you make payments of salaries, whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you're a government parastatal, these people you make such payments to wouldn't be using that money to subsidize another form of infrastructure, whether of light or of transportation or of the cost of food items or of any other related costs, even like school fees of their children, or even the cost of procuring building materials to establish a home. So these are the elements of what should contain in a living wage. It is not just mentioning that it is 30,000 or 50,000. To what extent? If that 30,000 can't put food on the table, if that 30,000 can't take them home in the first place, or if that 30,000 gets expended even before they receive it, what is the cost of a parent registering for JAMB or taking whose children are in the exam classes, either taking the WAEC, NECO, or the JAMB? Can 30,000 be able to cater for it, assuming for one child or for two? Those are the aspects I'm thinking, personally, it's a personal opinion, that the government should be interested in doing, rather than mentioning it that it is. Otherwise, we would have been overtaken by events by the time we implement the 30,000 minimum wage.
The basic thing is the implementation. So far, well, you could see that there are even some governors saying that they can't even afford to pay the 30,000 naira. But the question is Nigeria not enough? Are we not buoyant enough to actually pay this money that we are talking about? I keep saying it, that especially our leaders, let me just put it like that, our leaders, these are the things that the common man can gain from them. The only thing that they can say, yes, I benefited from this government, is the pay they earn. Government is not coming to put food on their table. And if they cannot fight for the right of these masses, then there's nothing to write home about.
Okay, like recently, but do you think that the protest they are looking into that is by January 8, 2019, do you think it's going to actually ease, or will it influence the government in actually moving ahead to pass a bill on this new national
Well, I
language?
think dialogue is better anyway, because the protest will also, it will cause more harm to the nation, because the whole place will be shut down. that means the government will lose money, and the same people that are crying that there is no money and we are still losing money. But I think the best thing to do is to dialogue with the government and let them know that, okay, this is where we stand, and let them dialogue and see.
Okay, now
That's
what's
my
your
own
take
point
as
too.
regards that?
Dialogue. Dialogue is very correct, and the timing for those dialogue. You see, before now, the argument we were postulating was that why is it that Labour always comes on the eve of national elections to ask for pay rise or to extract commitment from a present regime who you don't know whether they would win the elections or not.
I want to now relate it to the 2019 general elections that is coming up. But what effects do you think this will have on it?
Even the INEC themselves are part of the people that will go on strike. So, does that answer your question?
What do you have to say?
It's shut down.
So,
because of the inefficiency or insincerity of some few politicians.
exactly, that's just
Who,
it.
like, I want to tell you again and let the whole world hear it. The people that they employ as SAs and PAs, they are not subject to minimum wage. So they can pay.
Exactly.
Forget about the argument that they can't pay. They can pay. Some states are viable to the extent that their children are getting married and their children are studying abroad.
Yes.
But when it comes to paying salaries, states are not viable.